Aloha, fellow crypto enthusiasts. It's Empress wishing you a good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, and a good night. Education is so important, and to help encourage and empower more people, especially more women, to become more involved in the world of crypto, I'll be sharing some basic knowledge, including some commonly used crypto definitions. In this segment, we'll be talking about liquidity. What is liquidity? When that word comes up, there are two possibilities that come to mind, at least for me. The first is when you talk about how liquid or illiquid an asset is, it means how quickly it can be liquidated in order to turn that asset into another asset, or better yet, into spending power. Let's come back to that one in a moment. You may have heard of a crypto project having to provide liquidity or to lock it or unlock it. What is it, and why would they want to lock it or unlock it? Well, simply put, liquidity is a pool of funds. No, not that type of pool. It's a pool of funds or tokens or coins that crypto developers require in order to give their investors the ability to buy and sell their digital assets in an instant. If that pool did not exist, investors would have to wait for someone to match their buy or selling order, and there's no guarantee that that transaction would ever be completed. Liquidity is created by pooling in the new token along with another token which already has established its value. For example, Ethereum or Binance coin or a stable coin like USD Tether. And they would have to use exchanges like Cytopro, Uniswap, or PancakeSwap. The provider of that liquidity receives LP tokens in return. These LP tokens can be used at a later point to withdraw the pool of funds. An LP token stands for Liquidity Provider Tokens. This is where the need for locking liquidity comes in. Why is that important? Why should liquidity be locked? Well, if liquidity is unlocked, then the token developers would have the ability to take the pool of assets at any time, cash it out, and run. This is what is infamously known as a rug pull. Sadly, it has become a rite of passage for many crypto investors. It's definitely a difficult lesson to learn. This has happened to me personally back when I was brand new to crypto investing and I was still experimenting. You can say I attended the School of Hard Knocks on that one. This is why it's so important to educate newcomers to the market so that they know what to look out for and how to spot potential red flags. This is not a bulletproof concept, as these scammers become more knowledgeable and you never know what the character or the true intentions of the people behind the project really is. But there are some things you can do to protect yourself. And there are many legitimate projects providing value and good opportunities to their investors. If it's happened to you, don't give up, keep going. Continue to educate yourself on how to pick good, solid projects. And in time, you will more than make up for your losses. In another segment, I'll cover how to do your own research and what to look out for in terms of red flags. So locking the liquidity is a normal and good practice that helps investors to feel more secure. So how do they do this? Liquidity is locked by renouncing the ownership of liquidity pool tokens, the LP tokens, for a fixed period of time. They're sending them to a time-locked smart contract. Without ownership of LP tokens, developers cannot get liquidity pool funds back. This provides confidence to the investors that the token developers will not run away with the liquidity money. And this has become the standard. And this is one of the main things that differentiates a scam from a legitimate project. How long should the liquidity be locked for? Well, this varies from project to project. To provide the necessary confidence to the investors, a minimum of 6 months to a year, ideally 3 to 5 year lock periods is recommended. This would also allow more time for the coin or token to grow enough to the point that the investors will pool in liquidity They will pool in liquidity and no one would be concerned about a rug pull because the project would be established at that point. Liquidity is typically locked in a time-locked smart contract. Some coin and token owners deploy their own time-locked contract. However, since it's a custom contract under their control, it isn't always a trusted practice. So the ideal way is to use a reputable third party to lock the smart contract. That definitely instills more confidence. Liquidity refers to how easily an asset can be bought or sold at a stable price on a given market. The quicker you can sell off an asset as close to your asking price as possible, the more liquid an exchange is considered to be. On the other hand, bad or low liquidity means that an asset cannot be bought or sold at a rapid pace. Or if it can, the transaction would have a significant impact on the price. I've experienced that as well. It might be best to think about liquidity as a spectrum. On one end, we have cash and stable coins. On the other hand, we have very illiquid assets such as rare items or real estate. I hope that I have helped to enlighten you a bit about liquidity and have answered some of the questions that you may have had in mind. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a marvelous rest of your day or night. I'll see you real soon.